Neville's Horror Run. It was a dark and spooky night, and all the engines were telling stories before Neville had to leave for his passenger train. "Careful out there," said Thomas, "or else 379 will go and get you." "Who is this 379? "Thomas, don't tell me you believe that rubbish," said Whiff. "What rubbish?" said Neville. "That's when," Whiff began. "A long time ago, there was an engine named 379. He didn't have a name, but he was very rude to all the engines he'd seen, and the Fat Controller always warned him about his behavior. One night, he was getting ready for his next passenger train, so he went towards the turntable, but he was diverted into the wrong siding. Without warning, the diesel came off the rails, damaging his wheels. The Fat Controller was put up with his attitude and scrapped him. So every year on the day of his death, his spirit would appear. This would appear off the rails sometimes." Neville was frightened by the story he was told. That night, Neville was so scared that the fireman had trouble starting his fire. In just a few attempts, Neville started up and got ready for his passenger train. Soon, Neville was getting coal and water while being coupled up to his coaches. Soon, Chris arrived, with empty passenger cars. He had a pale look on his face. "Let me guess, you saw the ghost, didn't you?" Chris, who was too frightened to say anything, changed the subject. My, isn't it a nice foggy weather today, isn't it, Neville? "Just tell me, Chris, did you see the ghost?" Chris, who gave up, decided to tell Neville the truth. "I've seen the ghost, and he told me to leave, or else I'll be scrapped immediately." "Are you going to be stopping at the same station I was?" "Yeah, I have to." "Well, be careful, he might be there." Neville, who was frightened, started up. "I just hope he'll be okay," said Chris. Neville, who was still thinking about the story, was picking up his passengers at Brandon Docks. The guard blew his whistle, and Neville left. Soon, Neville arrived at the same station that Chris arrived at. Neville decided to look at the yard. It seemed normal, but not for long, until Neville started hearing a voice that made him feel very uncomfortable. "You better leave, or I will scrap you immediately." Neville gasped in amazement as he saw a diesel sitting off the rails. The diesel started moving onto the rails and going towards Neville. Neville quickly shut his eyes, and just before the diesel can go anywhere towards him, disappeared into the mist. The guard blew his whistle, and Neville quickly left. Neville, who was frightened, kept on going faster and faster up the hill. His driver was starting to get concerned. "Whoa, Neville, slow down, we're going to get into an accident." Neville was too frightened that he kept on going faster and faster. But Neville didn't care. He just wanted to reach the safety of his sheds. Neville quickly shunted his coaches and quickly went to the sheds. Soon Neville arrived at the sheds. All of the engines were asleep, except for Whiff. Whiff noticed a pale look on Neville's face. "Don't say I didn't warn you," said Whiff, and he went straight to sleep. Neville was too traumatized to say anything that he went straight to sleep at once. And every time Neville went to that station and stopped, he'd always look at the yards. He started to look back at that moment and started to wish that whatever he saw at that yard was nothing more but just a dream.